My name's Isaac, better known as IzzyTheBricky. This week was Drew's first time back in ages. I started building the bay and sent up all the walls. I also came down to London to do some filming and some recording for Fix Radio. You guys are watching the next instalment of IzzyTheBricky Weekly. Monday morning, we are back on the job. Drew is finally back. Today, we are going to be sending up the rest of this wall. This is the setup we are going for. We've elevated all our bricks and blocks. Because Drew is a bit injured still, he's going to be taking it somewhat steady, so I'm going to be giving him a bit of a push. Right now, we're just going to get cracking on. I'll catch you in a bit. What's in?
Oh, it's good to be back, mate. Good to go outside again. Pointing.
Yeah, good lad. He's not doing bad.
Hey, we're rusty, but we're getting there.
Very rusty.
Yes!
Yes, right, so we have finally finished this big, long gable end. All we need to do is put on another 11 courses and then we'll be ready for the wall plate. 2,000 bricks in this wall, or just under, and it's been a very tight, awkward alleyway. But luckily we have wrapped up, and now we're going to be starting some block work. We're going to be working just in between these steels, corner block to corner block, whamming this up, backing in this wall, because this is a big wall not to have backed in. Now, Drew just asked a question about the expansion joint. I vaguely went over it yesterday, or a few days ago. Basically, it's here, Drew, just so when we have a massive span of brickwork like this, it's likely to have some movement. There could end up being cracks, especially because it's about 100 bricks long, okay? So if we put an expansion joint bang in the middle, if there was going to be any movement in this wall, all the movement's going to be directed to this. And that's why we have these slip ties and things like that in the wall to allow that movement to happen. And the foam, I don't really know why we have foam, but it's perfectly 10 mil, and I imagine it's because if the bricks were to expand and contract, foam allows that sort of movement. So on the face of the brickwork, you can clearly see we've got our expansion foam. Now we don't want to see that, so what we do, we recess it back into the brickwork by about 15, 20 mil, and then we just put a mastic joint straight down it so you won't see it. What a man, what a man, you wouldn't know you're half disabled. If you hit that, look at my mark, and now that's come off. Oh God, it was better without you. You're meant to be helping. Look at it now, it's low. Oh, Drew!
We haven't swung a hammer in a while.
It's not swung a hammer. I'll bring a hammer at you in a bit. Taking just little snippets out of context. Oh, God. There we go. That's where we're leaving it for today. Drew and I sent this blockwork up together, sent the brickwork and had a right good tidy up. It's very nice to have my main man Drew back helping me out. I forgot how handy it is actually having someone to help. Anyway, we'll catch you tomorrow morning when we're sending the rest of that blockwork up there. Yes, yes. Tuesday morning, just gone about 10 o'clock. So far, I've had Drew running around like a crazy fish, bringing all the sand, which is on the front, round to the back, so we're able to mix up. I've been sending up this blockwork, and I'm just setting out this bay window here up to 900, and that's where it drops off. Once we've set this blockwork up to almost wall plate height, we'll be dropping on the brickwork. Now, this long side in front of me has loads of just small pillars. We've got floor to ceiling windows, so there's got to be loads of light in this building. So lots of messing about, lots of level work, which I don't like, but we're going to blast it up in a little bit. But for now, blast some more block work. Yes, yes.
What are you putting in your wrap, Drew?
Oh, we'll get the whole pack. We'll get the whole pack.
Oh, Drew, that's so sorry.
This is the lunch of a healthy workforce. You know that.
Times are hard.
Finished lunch. Drew had a right feast. We've wrapped up that wall. All we need to go on is a 150 split block and then the 75mm wall plate, and then we're going to be ready for the roof to go on. We've set a profile up down there, and we are just setting up a massive wrap back here. Now you can see here that we have our render stop bead, and you can see how it's set back a little bit. Now the render is slightly out of plumb and it's protruding on our brickwork, so I've had to pistol round. I've checked it with the level and it leans out of plumb ever so slightly, so by the time we actually get up to about here, I won't have to pistol my brick around for it to slot in. Bit of messing about here, but nothing too major and nothing we can't get over. Setting this corner up here, just all freehand. There is no point trying to attach a profile to this. You'll waste more time trying to set up a profile than just building a corner. What I've done, I've just marking out my gauge ever so lightly on the render here. So it will wash off in time, so it doesn't matter too much, but it just saves me having to pick up my tape constantly checking gauge. So just a little tip, just to keep things on track and speed your corner building up a little bit. Right, that is where we are leaving it for today. I've sent the brickwork pillar up nice and freehand with all my level over there. Now, next time we're here, we're going to be setting out all of these windows and doors, lots of pillars, and not much brickwork actually left in this job. Tomorrow, I'm heading down to London to start doing some recording for Fix Radio. Hopefully, I'll be able to do a tiny bit of filming while I'm in the studio, give you guys a little nose round. Anyway, on that note, I'll either catch you tomorrow at Fix Radio or on Thursday. Where are we? I've no idea where we are. Right, it's about 1 o'clock. We have just got to London and we are really meant to be heading to the studio, but I thought we'd have a quick beer before we head off, just to ease the nerves so I'm a bit loose for the radio. Just had a phone call with Ash Mahoney. I'm going to be interviewing him later on today. Not sure if I'm meant to be telling you guys that, but it really doesn't matter. Anyway, we're going to finish off our drinks and then we're going to head off over to the studio, fashionably late. Welcome to the first bricklaying show on Fix Radio. Some of you may know me from my YouTube channel, IzzyTheBricky, or you may recognise me from Instagram.
Isaac will introduce you. Well, no, it's more I keep meaning to call Isaac Ash because we've had 2 Ashes today. So.
Because we're so both good looking, Ash, he keeps getting us mixed up.
Yeah.
Right now I am joined by another Ash, but this time it is Ash Mahoney, a very well-known bricklayer, especially on social media such as Instagram. Ash, how are you, mate? Right, we have just finished doing our set for Fix Radio. Ended up speaking to Rattle Kings, or Darcy, Ash from Bricklayer Social Club, Ash Mahoney, and the benching Bricky. So spoke to a load of interesting guests about some interesting topics all related to construction. Anyway, I'm going to go have a few drinks around London and catch the train back. So Drew and I will catch you tomorrow when we're back on the extension. Sound! Well, straight back to reality. Yesterday was a fantastic day. Got to meet some brilliant people, and then after I did the podcast, we explored London and just had a few drinks. Before we get stuck in today, look at that trap end. That's lethal. I was saying yesterday how amazing it is that all these opportunities are coming my way, only because I just put myself out there one day and decided to start filming my bricklaying about 1.5 years ago. Yeah, very grateful and very fortunate. So opportunities like this don't often happen, but what I'm going to start doing now is just grabbing every opportunity that does come my way, because you never know where you'll end up. Some of you may have noticed that Drew isn't here once again today. He called me this morning just as I pulled up to his house to pick him up. He was throwing up down the toilet. This morning I've just got set up all down this long stretch. It's just loads and loads of pillars. So what I've done, and for those improvers and apprentices out there who are always struggling to find time, I spent 20 minutes this morning getting set up. I've put on my halves, I've put my ties out, I've done everything I need to do to get prepped for the entire day. So take note. Anyway, I'm going to get blasting, catch up in a bit. Just gone 2 o'clock. We've set up profiles on every single reveal. This just saves us that time it takes to plumb every one. Overall, it is going pretty well today. It's a bit of a struggle because obviously temperatures are getting up there now, because obviously we're coming into summer. These bricks are really dry and the compo is just constantly going off. So bit of a struggle without Drew today, not having someone just constantly topping up my bricks and knocking up my compo. But like always, we do get there. So I'm going to get on these last 5 courses and see how we get on for the rest of the day. We've built all of those panels. What I decided to do in the end, as the wind calmed down, I sent up every panel to full height just on its own, rather than spreading myself really thin and loading out compo and bricks along these 3 panels and walking up and down this massive run. Just focused on one panel until it's fully built, quickly propped it, and then moved on to the next one. I would have done that earlier, but the wind was quite high and I don't want to risk a blowdown. Tomorrow we're going to be starting the bay and we're hopefully going to get round a majority of it, as long as I have some help. Hopefully Drew is here tomorrow, but we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, on that note, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Friday morning, guess who's back? Drew's back. Done 3 days this week, bless him. Today we're going to be setting out the bay. I've already gone over with Drew how I've labelled them and how I've numbered them. Every angle represents a different letter. So we have A, B, C, D, E and F, so on, so on. And then I've also labelled each one. Each number represents a course. So these are 1s, these are 2s. So it'll go 1, 1, 1, so on, so on. Today we're going to be really just focusing on getting this bay up. Tuesday I've got the scaffolders penciled in. So hopefully we'll have a lift, and then we've got 11 courses to go on. A 150mm cut on the blockwork inside to send us up to wall plate, and then dobbing on the wall plate. So in all fairness, not too long left on this job. However, I was having a chat with the client. Obviously, I think he's quite happy with all of our work. And because of that, we have a garden wall to build later on. So that's sand. But otherwise, I best start looking for some more work for doing that. Fair on. He could, isn't he? Something I was talking to Drew about earlier, and something I noticed when he was laying away over there, when he was trying to get these bricks level, because they're laid frog up, you may notice that they are somewhat like bananas. So when you put your level on and you're trying to level it, you'll often find that it wants to rock a bit like a seesaw. So when we're leveling, let's say from over there to here, and it's level, and you've tapped it down, you might find that this side is actually significantly higher. So that's something you really need to bear in mind when you're laying these like rustic looking bricks and you're using a lot of level work.
No, I could not wait back in.
Yes, there we go. So we have finally finished building our bay. Everything's nicely pointed up. For those of you wondering why I have frogged down this top course, I'm not going to tell you, but all I'm going to say is that we have a windowsill sitting on there, so you guys can figure that out yourself. That is pretty much our Friday wrapped up. I'm just going to use the last little bit of compo to build up this pillar. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this week. It's been quite a fun week. Obviously Drew has been back, so that's been really fun for myself, even though we had a day off. Drew's terrible at cooking. Someone needs to give him some cooking lessons because that's the 3rd time he's had food poisoning. So yes, and we also went down to London. I did my filming and little bits and bobs for Fixed Radio. There will be a podcast coming out shortly and I'll let everyone know when those dates are going to be. For now, Drew and I will catch you next week. Enjoy your weekend. Yes, yes.